At this point, let's just throw Kevin away, Kevin, whatever his name is. And how about we do the same for Tyler? Throw her away too, okay?
Kay Unscripted, no teens restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Kay Unscripted. I am your girl Kay, and today we're talking about Love is Blind Season 10, episodes 3 and 4. I thought I should just join these two episodes together. I'm also going to be doing the same for 5 and 6, so look out for this one. But let's just get into what went down in this episode. So we left off with the reveal for Jordan and Amber, and she was giving all of these poses, and I'm like, okay girl. Now honestly, I don't know how I feel about this reveal. I couldn't tell if it was just nerves, and it probably was, because did y'all see how he had the box upside down? That was crazy, and his hands were shaking. But I don't know, I don't think that she's attracted to him. He was the one giving all of the compliments, and it felt like she was just saying, yeah, me too. What do y'all think? Did y'all catch on to that, or am I overthinking it? She does eventually say that he's very handsome, but I guess we're going to have to wait to see how these two get along, right? So now we're introduced to Brittany, who is in the women's quarters saying that she doesn't wear rings and it feels really uncomfortable for her. She also said that she bought herself a wedding dress because it was on sale, so she's definitely getting married. And I'm like, girl, are you okay? What is this? So she's on a date with Devontae, which is our first time meeting him as well. He says he wants his wife to know the most about him, and he asked Brittany what is the first thing she noticed about him. She said it was his voice, it was very nerdy, and they kind of have a few things in common. They have a little banter on things that they both nerd about. He then tells her that he's excited about her being his wife, and the fact that she wants her man to be a father, he really loves that about her. Devontae says that he's ready to be married because he's establishing his career, and most importantly, he's worked so much on himself and believes marriage to be a lifetime. He then shares that he got pulled by production and was told that his grandfather passed away. So if he's going to stay, it has to be a really good reason. So I feel like he was kind of letting her know, I'm here and it better be worth it, right? That's what it was giving, because he said he has every reason to leave. He shared that after talking to his brother and his grandmother, they encouraged him to stay because this is what his grandfather would want. Now, I know losing a loved one is never something easy to go through, so I commend him for even wanting to stay. Alex is in the men's quarters and make reference to the movie A Bronze Tale, and makes reference to a line that says you only get 3 great women in your life. The first love is puppy love, the second one breaks you, and the third is the one who fixes you. And so that's the one that lasts for a lifetime, is what he's saying. He quoted from that movie. Somehow he feels like this relates to his relationship with Ashley. And while on his date with Ashley, he talks about his life in soccer. And when asked why he stopped playing, he shares with Ashley that he had 4 knee surgeries. He specifically talks about draft day and what it was supposed to be. Instead, he was stuck at home with a cast watching his dream happen before his eyes, while his mom was in the kitchen baking cookies. He says that one of his best friends made the 14th pick, which is good, but he was supposed to be the top 5 pick, and apparently his team left before his name was called. So he definitely felt some type of way about that, and you could tell that it still affects him today. Now he thought he was going to be top 5, and he ended up being 23rd, which sure wasn't what he dreamed of happening. Now while he's sharing the story, Ashley starts tearing up and says that she wants him to come to her in his darkest moments, so he always knows that he feels loved. Now let's talk about Kevin, whatever the hell his name is. Apparently it's Kevin. He walks back to the men's quarters looking like a crybaby. He shares with Jordan how he opened up to his number one about how he's feeling about his other date, and she walked out on him. Now, Miss Crimea River heads back to the women's quarter saying, "Oh, I know my worth. I'm not putting up with this shit. So I'm going to make the decision for him and leave. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to go." All of that talk, right? So some of the girls start hugging her. They're all crying with her too. And y'all tell me why this girl calls Kia and says, "Oh, I know your man. He's a good man. I think I know your man." Girl, what are you doing? Tyler, please. What is wrong with you, girl? And seriously, why are you even bringing that up to Kia? It doesn't make sense. I am so confused. Tyler is pissing me off, y'all. But that's not even all. She did all that hooting and hollering only to go back in the pod to talk to Kevin. Are you okay? Seriously. He apologizes to her for triggering her in any way. He says he was just expressing his thoughts and feelings and not really saying that he was choosing someone else. She also apologizes to him and asks what he would need to help him make a decision, and he says he needs to feel comfortable and for things to feel natural and safe. Clearly, he's not feeling security from Tyler. And that's just what he says. But honestly, I don't think this man has a clue about what he wants. He hasn't been able to decide between these two women. And quite frankly, he's just not ready to be in a relationship. She asks if he can get to that place, and he says that he can. Tyler, on the other hand, says that for her to say yes to an engagement, she needs to know that this person is locked in and not distracted by somebody else. Matter of fact, she wants to be asked to be a girlfriend first before becoming a fiancé. So she's clearly bothered that Kevin is still into Kia, and she doesn't like that. Tyler then pulls up a little trick up her sleeve and says, "Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, you're going to be a great husband. You're an amazing partner. You're an amazing human being, and plus you have all these great examples in your life that indicates that you would be a wonderful husband no matter who it is too." And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play with a guy's mind to get him to pick you when he still isn't going to pick you. Manipulation 101. Please take notes. Girl, what are you doing? Why are you still asking this man to pick you? Haven't you given up enough of yourself? Ladies, please let that be a lesson to you and everyone out there. Don't go giving all of you to a man who's not ready to commit to you. It's not that difficult for a man to know who he wants. It doesn't take him that long. Trust and believe. Instantly, this man knows if I'm going to do right by this woman or not. Okay? I'm about sick of both Tyler and Kevin at this point. Now she gets back to the women's quarter. She sees Kia and she says to her, "Oh, sorry for bombarding you earlier." Kia gives her so much grace. She tells her it's okay. She gets it. Emotions are high. They hug it out. And I know Kia's tired because I'm about tired. I'm tired. But Kia is playing so nice with her, and I feel that was really mature of her, the way she handled that situation with Tyler. Now, Breeze on a date with Connor. He says that he wants to be his son's coach, and whatever his dad taught him is what he's going to do with his children. She's saying that she wants to be a stalker mom, and she's looking forward to living that lifestyle. Now, Bree likes Connor, but he is a bit of a slow burn for her, and she has another connection, which is with Chris, and she feels like they connect more on an intimate level, and he will be able to challenge her in ways that Connor will just not be able to. So Chris and Brie are now on a date. He gives a story about one of the girls. He knew that this wasn't his match, but the girl said to him, "I know exactly who your match is," and gave a description based on what the person was wearing, which was an orange outfit. He knew that the person was referring to Brie. Now, it was so annoying to me the number of times Chris kept on saying "like" in one sentence. My goodness. Anyways, He asked her what are some of the qualities she would look for in someone she would want to be with in a long-term commitment such as marriage. And while he asked the question, he decides to answer it for her by saying that he knows she's an independent woman, but there are certain things he's certain he could challenge her with and teach her, and she doesn't even know it yet. Okay, you asked me a question, but you're going to answer the question for me. Okay. She says that this is what she's looking for in a partner. She also asks how he can make her feel that feminine energy on an emotional level. He pretty much says that he's going to step in and take care of things so she doesn't have to. Maybe many of us women have at some point had to step into the more dominant and masculine energy in a relationship or two, and that doesn't always feel good. So when a man is able to step in and do, the little things that you don't necessarily have to think about or worry about, then the feminine side of you naturally comes out. And guess what? We love the soft girl era, okay? Now, Chris also has a connection with Jess. She is more open about her feelings with him, and as he's comparing his connection with Jess to Breeze, he points out that Jess is older than him and Breeze a little bit younger, but he doesn't think Jess being older is an issue. He's just more focused on the personality, and he's clinging more towards Jess's personality. So let's get to the date. Jess tells Chris that there are two hurdles that she is actually facing. One is finding someone, and two is knowing that person is the one for you. But she thinks that she has that with him. Chris calls her his person. He says that she has been his number one. She said that she was hesitant to share that with him because she was afraid that he had another connection with someone else, and that would somehow sway his decision to pick her because she is picking him as her number one. He also says that he gets friendship vibes from his other connection, and y'all, he said she feels like a dude. He feels like he's hanging out with one of his homeboys. And I'm just like, damn. Anyways, he said it feels different with her, Jess, and he feels like they're aligning on many things. One specific thing he mentions is that she said she doesn't want to have kids, but she's open to that decision changing, and he's affirming to her that he also feels the way that having kids is not really a priority to him. We then see a snippet of many dates between Ashley and Alex. We see them connecting on a deeper level, and so we get to the date at present. He compares their relationship to a book called The Alchemist, and made reference to treasure being 15 foot away, which means that he's found his treasure in Ashley. He then gets on one knee and asks Ashley to marry him, and she says yes. So we have another engaged couple, Ashley and Alex. Congratulations to them. So we see Emma and Connor on their date, and they're flirting and stuff, right? He then says, "What if you see me and don't like what you see?" She says that they have an emotional connection, but she feels like physical attraction can grow. So of course the kids topic is still something of concern to Emma, but Connor thinks, or he rather hopes, that she can get to that point where she changes her mind. Now I don't understand how these people come with all of these deal breakers and it suddenly just goes out the door because they just want to be married. It doesn't make sense. It is just so crazy to me. Connor then has a date with Bree, and in my opinion, he's a lot more expressive with Bree than with Emma. They talk about their parents knowing about them coming to the show. Connor gets all emotional talking about his mom and how hard she's worked and instilled all of these great values in him and his siblings, and he appreciates that so much. We love her mom. I miss you, mom. She tells him that she pictures her future with him in it, and he says he feels so calm around her. He's never felt anxious or had to wonder where her head was at. So they both do have other connections, but decide that they want to stick with each other and they're going to end things with the other connection. Now we get to the reveal moment for Alex and Ashley. And so once the door opens, They walk to each other and they seem to be really attracted to each other. But did y'all find it strange that he kept asking her, does this feel like home? Is this home yet? Are we home yet? Oh my god, it's home. Yeah, that was annoying. That was really weird to me. I'd say though that Alex, for me, looked like he was struggling a bit to get down on his knee. I don't know, maybe his pants were too tight. But anyways, she accepts the second proposal, and clearly these two just cannot wait to screw each other, because why was he grabbing her neck? They were doing the absolute most. I don't know, she looked a little bit uncomfortable, but Alex was doing a lot. And what was that about her eyes changing colors? Just throw the whole reveal away, because according to Alex, it's getting dangerous in here. Oh my goodness. Let's move on, guys. To end of episode 3, we see Bree sitting with Chris and pretty much ending things with him, letting him know that she wants to focus on her other connection, Connor. He's glad, he's relieved, because he too wants to focus on his other connection, which is Jess. Now Connor, who's going into the date ending things with Emma, kind of struggles to do so, because she's coming in saying, you're my person, you make me feel validated, you make me feel calm, you always have me smiling, all of these nice things, and I'm confused. Here's where the confusion came for me, because why is he telling Emma that she and the other connection have been top 2 and he hasn't decided on who he's picking? Excuse me? That's not what you just said to Brie. Annoying. So we end episode 3 on that note, and we move on to episode 4. We continue with the conversation between Emma and Connor, and he finally gets it out that his heart is leaning in towards another connection. Obviously, she's devastated. She walks back to the women's quarters. She's breaking down because he was her number 1, but we see Brie consoling her, and you could tell that she kind of feels bad that Emma is feeling sad, right? Now, we get to another date with Devontae and Brittany. She asked more questions about his dad. Apparently, his dad wasn't in his life for quite some time and ended up passing. He does share a story about his dad being present at one of his games, and while he was leaving, this man says to him, "Good game," but he didn't know that this was his dad until his mom asked him if anyone spoke to him. He said from that encounter, he never heard or saw his dad again, right? She does mention that she's been celibate. We didn't really get to see that conversation. I wish we did, so we could have heard what that conversation was like between them, because I feel like anytime a woman brings up that she is celibate, this is something scary for men, right? Especially on that type of show. Jess and Chris are on another date, and we see him getting down on one knee. He asks for her hand in marriage. She accepts, and we have another engaged couple. Congratulations to Jess and Chris on their engagement. Emma now has a date with Mike. We haven't seen him in a while, but they have this cute dinner date set up. And did y'all peep that she told Mike that things ended with her second choice? Emma, girl, why are you lying? Clearly Connor was your number 1. You said that, but now you're telling Mike that he was number 2. What are you doing? She tells Mike that she likes him and she's so thankful that he's listened to her, but she just needed to get this off of her mind. He tells her that he wants her to think about what kind of ring she wants, and all of a sudden she's all bubbly and happy. I don't know who's more pick me, Emma or Mike. Maybe they deserve each other. Let's get to Connor and Bree's date. She reads him a letter that she wrote, and it was really cute, but I wish he would have gone first. I don't know, it's just me. He also gives a speech thanking her for doing all of these wonderful things for him, and he then gets on one knee and asks her to marry him. She says yes. Another engaged couple, y'all. Congratulations to Connor and Bree. So at the women's quarters, the girls are sitting together, and while Kia is sitting right there too, they're bringing up what went down the other day when Tyler was being all dramatic for no reason. Y'all know you're wrong for that. So Kia and Kevin have another date. Like I said, I've been saying his name wrong. I thought it was Kivan, but apparently it's Kevin. So he's on a date with Kia and they have this gift exchanging moment. Now we know when it gets to that point, it's because you're pretty serious or you're picking that person. Usually that's what it means. Kia decides to gift him a watch. And I'm like, girl, a whole watch? Why? But she explains that the watch symbolizes her dad and she feels like Kevin gets in his head a lot. So that should be a reminder to him that it's okay if he needs a little more time to get things right. How much more time does he need? Because tick tick, time up. Now Kevin says to Kia that he needs to be honest with her. He shares that he's the one paying for everything, and not only himself but for his mom. He has a bit of Chevy, and did he say he has a 1-bedroom apartment? So Kevin, where do you sleep? I don't know, it's not giving. Now y'all, Kevin knows that these women are both out of his league. He's telling her that she deserves the world, and in so many words saying that he cannot give her the life that she deserves. But why did it seem like Kia was also pressing that man to pick her? The man is telling you that he cannot buy a watch as expensive as the one you just bought him. Girl, leave that man alone. It's starting to look like y'all are too desperate for a ring. So you want to be babysitting a man 24/7 all day every day? Girl, stop. I'm not saying that you cannot help a man level up, but Kevin is always whining about something. He is exhausting. I'm gonna need him to man up. Grow some nuts, Kevin, will you? Now, when I tell y'all, I couldn't stop laughing because when she opened her gift, he gave Kia a basketball. And she's all googly-eyed about a basketball. Like, really? Then he says to her he feels like the right thing to do is to let both of the women that he's seeing go. Kevin, go home. Send him home, please, somebody. Now, Kia knew exactly what she was doing because she went back to the women's quarters and they peeped that she got a gift from Kevin, right? She's all happy about her little basketball. And baby, Tyler was not happy about that. The girl was pissed. She couldn't wait to run out of that door to head to the pod to find out what the hell is wrong with Kevin. So as soon as she got to the pod, she immediately tells Kevin, I know the other girl is Kia, and she also tells him that she just wants to be someone's undeniable choice, and there she go again crying a river, telling this man, guess what, today you're going to make a decision, and it has to be me. He gives this lame speech, and she says, so what are you going to do, Kevin? And he says, I picked Tyler. What is going on? Okay, pick Misha. Let's see how long that lasts. This was such a cringe scene because Miss Pick Misha goes back to the quarters. She says she wants to use the washroom, right? But she couldn't wait to tell Emma and Christine that she has a boyfriend. And she had to make sure that Kia wasn't around because she didn't want her to hear. So she heads back to the pods. And based on what Christine and Emma said to her, she goes back and reiterates that conversation to Kevin. She now has another demand because she wants to know what he said to Kia. Now she's grilling him about his relationship with Kia. She needs to know every single detail. But clearly he is still feeling Kia. She's pressing him about asking her to be his girlfriend when he just said he felt a stronger connection with Kia. Oh girl, you pressured that man to pick you, so now you're not satisfied? Now you feel dumb, huh? Again, dictating to this man on how things should be. When a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So now you want to leave him? Again, just throw Tyler away, please. Now let's get to this date with Devontae and Brittany. She tells him how loved and safe she feels with him. He says that she is his best friend and he's ready to do life with her. He then gets down on one knee and asks to marry her, and she says yes. Congratulations to Brittany and Devontae on their engagement. Now we get to the reveal for Jessica and Chris once the door opens. I don't know, I think they were fond of each other, but it does look like she is attracted to him. I will say though, her ring was really nice. So far the nicest ring that I have seen. They look like they're into each other, and I like that for them. Emma's on her date with Mike. They exchange gifts, and she's saying that she's never woken up feeling so at peace. He said he had butterflies and I am so confused. I'm thoroughly confused at these two because what is happening? Anyhow, she gives him letters that her mom wrote with details about their life. He reads through one of the letters and then she opens up his gift and it's a scrapbook. I don't think I've ever seen a guy who's been into scrapbooking, but I guess that works for him. He's saying that they connect in so many ways and asks if she got tested for her genes, would that change her mind? Which is the question we've all been wondering. Just get a test to find out, because chances are you may not even pass anything to your kids, right? She now says that she can see a family with him. All of a sudden, she's now comfortable or can entertain the idea of having a family. Child, they say anything for an engagement. We then get to the reveal for Bree and Connor. He has some insecurities about his height and hopes that she likes what she sees. So the doors open, and when they meet each other, they seem to be into each other. He gets down on one knee and places the ring on her finger. She's like, stop, stop, stop. Oh my goodness, it's so annoying. But she did say that he's not medium ugly, and I just cannot with Brianna. Now let's wrap up episode 4 with Kevin still in his head, but feels like he's leaning more towards Tyler. Now when he gets to the pod, that room is empty. Tyler's not there. Kevin was like, hello. Echo. I'm sorry all, but this is where episode 4 ends. We're going to have to wait to see what happens with that situation with Tyler and the empty room. But thank you so much for tuning in to this recap for Love is Blind season 10, episodes 3 and 4. Tell me what you think of these 2 episodes. Let's chat about it. And while you're at it, like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.